Well, hello. I mean, it's been a real crazy ride for the last few months. My last video was pretty recent, not too long ago, but I've been keeping my videos down to a minimum. Now, I want to start off by saying here's the bottom line. It doesn't really matter who you vote for. They're all full of shit. You can vote for a Republican, you can vote for a Democrat, you can vote for whoever you want. But the bottom line is nobody is going to fix the economy. Not the way they're trying to fix it. It's irreparable. The problem doesn't go back to the beginning of Obama's administration. The problem doesn't go back to George W. Bush. The problem goes back to the day they killed Kennedy. And further back, the day that those people who met on Goat Island decided to create the Federal Reserve. Now, I've pointed this out in the past. The only time in history when the United States was not in debt was when Andrew Jackson abolished the federal bank. They hated him. They hated him for a reason, because their plan was to imprison the United States in economic debt in order for them to make a profit. Debt is a profit to those who hold the note. Now, with that said, let's look at the future. Right now, we are faced with massive debt, not caused by Obama, and will not be fixed by any Tea Party or any right-wing or left-wing party, because the problem is much deeper than that. The problem is the fact that we no longer own our own manufacturing. We no longer own our own country. The debt is being held by China and by a few select oil barons that are at this very moment toying with us. We can no longer claim our freedom as long as we owe our debt to anyone outside of this country. We are no longer the great country we used to be. You could sit there and call me un-American. You could sit there and call me a communist. You can sit there and call me crazy, which I am. Crazy for even bothering to talk to people through these videos, because the bottom line is yes, there's a few of us out there who understand and know what I'm talking about, but in truth, more people are willing to believe the bullshit and the lie and the fact that, oh, we can fix the problem, just let us be in control. The fact is once someone's in control, they're not in control. Once they get elected, they're not representatives of the United States people, American people. They just aren't. You can't believe that. You need to stop believing that. Every representative that has left his hometown to go to Washington inevitably becomes a puppet of the financial economic manipulators, the militaristic money manipulators that we were warned about. The military industrial complex. We were warned. Fair warned. Warned very clearly. A lot of us have forgotten it. If you have forgotten, seek out the speech that we were given on the military industrial complex by an outgoing president that I won't even bother to name, because it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what party he was from. It wouldn't matter. But he said it very clearly. Seek it out. I'm not going to waste my time trying to explain it to you. If you don't know by now, then you either find out and learn for yourself, or you will suffer the consequences of not heeding that warning to begin with. At this very moment, we are faced with an earth in turmoil. Christchurch, fires, wars, social upheaval that is being created, social upheaval that is being orchestrated. The bottom line is, for example, one of the largest Israeli trade corporations was busted for carrying on illegal trade with a country that harbors ill feelings towards the United States and towards Israel. Are we seeing all of a sudden the pants being pulled down on the puppet masters? There are no real enemies except the ones that would have us believe we have enemies. Remember that. There are no real enemies except the ones who would have us believe we are enemies. It is the nature of the manipulators of money. It is the key factor in the efforts put forward by those social constructs created by societies that are ancient in order to maintain control over the masses of people that they see only as laborers, breeders, and functional individuals set forth only for their personal gain in life. The slaves and the masters, the slave masters, they exist. The slave masters exist. Read the books, they're out there. The conspiracy theories, the conspiracy concepts created around those individuals are real, are true. The wars that the kings fought, the wars that the kings fought of Europe, financed by the Jewish bankers and ordained by the Catholic Church in order for them to maintain control over the masses, both Christian and non. You know, in some ways, it's almost believable what the Islamic terrorists say about America, that we are the great Satan. Really, all religions are the great Satan. All religions are lying. Islam is lying. Christianity is lying. Buddhism is probably lying. The priesthoods have been set in motion to control humanity. There are many ancient pieces of literature that talk about this. You can't believe a priest. You can't believe a rabbi. You can't believe a Buddhist monk. You can't believe any of them. They're all going to tell you what they want you to hear in order for you to believe what they want you to believe. Oh, but the Bible. Oh, but the Quran. Oh, but the teachings of the Tao Te Ching. We could talk about books all day long. Books don't feed people. Books don't put roofs over people's houses. Literature is a wonderful thing. I read. I still read, even though we have this modern technology of computers, which I use a lot, even though we have the modern technology of cell phones, which I use a lot, Twitter and Facebook and you name it. Even though we have all of this, I still believe in books as a way to find information, but not as a way to find your belief system. Put not your faith in your fellow man. Yes, that's a quote from the Bible. True. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. A beautiful saying by an incredible man. But is it not socialistic? To some people, yes. To others, it's patriotic. You see, words in literature can be used to imply what someone else wants you to believe. Only what you believe in your heart is what's real. You can be twisted. You can be told, oh, the rapture is coming, and people kill themselves. Oh, the rapture is going to be tomorrow, and people freak out and go sell everything. What are you going to believe? When are you going to get your head out of your ass and look at the truth that is in yourself? Are you happy? Do you have what you need? Is the car really what makes you happy? Is the house really what makes you happy? Is it the smiling faces of your children who suddenly can see that you're scared but okay with the fear because you have a strength that goes beyond money, a strength that goes beyond a house? Fires can take away everything. Earthquakes can take away everything, including lives. Hurricanes, tornadoes, war, all of these things can take away everything, including your life. But there's something that can never be taken away, and that is your humanity. In an instant, we can be homeless. In an instant, we're all the same when we have nothing and we're all there with nothing. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. I've walked through the faces of people who had lost everything because of fire, waiting to know if their homes are still there. And they all looked the same. They all had that sad, lost look in their eye. And suddenly they all became humanity. This is what I'm talking about. The strength in that sameness. The strength in that oneness. The strength in that knowing that you could have nothing or you could have everything. And when you have everything, if you're selfish enough to believe that you and you alone deserve it, then you're selfish enough to lose it. And when you lose it, you still have nothing. We can no longer depend on our leaders to tell us the truth. If a comet was coming to hit the planet tomorrow, you would not know about it. If the end of all humanity was on the brink and just around the corner, if there was no water left on the planet for human consumption, you will not know about it until it is too late. They will not tell you. They have not told you the truth. They will not tell you the truth. Do not depend on your leaders any longer for the truth. That means your politicians. That means your religious leaders. That means every single person who would pretend to be the authority in your life, because you are the only authority there is. And your connection to that thing above your head and below your feet that gives you your humanity. God, whatever you want to call it, Allah, whatever you want to call it, the Force, I don't care what you call it. It is greater than any human being. It is greater than any leader. It is greater than anything you could find except within yourself. Make contact with that. Not with some so-called alien from space. Not from some so-called piece of literature that tells you tomorrow will be the end. It doesn't matter. I've read the Popol Vuh. I am familiar with the Mexican calendar. I did research for 20 years or more on petroglyphs, ancient alphabets, and the great calendar of Mexico. I'm not going to bore you with all that. I know what it is. 2012, 2013, 2016, 20,000, 2,500. It doesn't matter. The end happens when you die. That's when the end is. And if we all sit waiting for the end, we do nothing. We do nothing for the future. We do nothing for ourselves. We do nothing for the children. We do nothing for the nations. We do nothing for our humanity. They will have you keep believing that tomorrow will be the end so that you will do nothing. Is that what you want? Do you want a world of people doing nothing because they're so damn scared because tomorrow may be the end? Well, I got something to say for you for that. Yes, tomorrow may be the end. Get off your ass and quit worrying about what tomorrow is going to bring and do it now. Right now is the only time you really have. You don't have tomorrow. You don't have yesterday. You have it right now. Hug your kids right now. Laugh right now. Cry right now. Eat right now. Sleep right now. Live right now. That's the start. That's where we start. If the politicians say, we have to plan for tomorrow because we may not have any money left. Oh my God, no money left. Ah! What the fuck is that? Quit it. Stop it. Blow it off. Get rid of it. Economy. Oh, economy. Oh. Come on, guys. What are we doing? We're believing the manipulators, the puppet masters, are definitely controlling us with our feelings, our emotions, our fears, our hopes, our anxieties, our loves. How many of you watched the movies growing up? The love movies. Oh, romance. He loves me. He gave me a rose. Oh, flowers. Nights with moonlight in the water. And then came to find that it doesn't matter how much romance you have in your life. If you don't have your shit together, you have nothing. If you're not friends with your partner, you have nobody. If you're not willing to make a sacrifice and be compatible with somebody, not because you think romance will make you compatible, but because your humanity makes you compatible, and you decide that there are certain things in life you want, and you make that choice, and you choose that person, and that person chooses you, and then suddenly they're not willing to make the choice or the sacrifices because they're not sure they want to do that kind of work. It takes work to be in a romantic love affair, but it takes more work to make it work. Life is like that. Life is a choice, responsible choice to do something with it. A tool. Your life is a tool to make it become something. You have it. Use it. Like a hammer. Your life is like a hammer. How is it like a hammer? That sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? It's like a hammer because a hammer can be one of two things. You can build a house with a hammer, or you can kill somebody with it. What are you going to do? What choice are you going to make?
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.